videos is a lot of fun, but it's definitely more fun when you have the right type of equipment. And even though gear don't matter, I think that investing in your videos will not only help improve them, but also make you more motivated to actually want to go out and make more videos. So I started goofing around with the camera when I was around 15, 16 years old. And back then, there was no HD quality or 4K. Looking back, everything looks crap. But for me at the time, that crappy little camcorder that I was running around with, it was really all I needed because it gave me something to work with. It's been a few years now that I started making videos, and I've come to realize that I've bought a lot of stuff throughout the years. A lot of shit. This is not shit, by the way, it's a GoPro, but I bought a lot of shit. But I've also bought some good stuff, some stuff that I kind of cannot live without. I wanted to share some of the things that I would recommend if you are a YouTuber or content creator in the cinematic vlog niche. Not really sure what to call it. So let's start off with the obvious ones. Cameras. I like Sony cameras because, first of all, they're very lightweight, but they also deliver really good image quality. My current main camera is the A6700, which is the one I'm shooting on right now. I used to shoot on the A6400. I actually really liked this camera. It pretty much the perfect camera for me, apart from 3 things that I was missing, and that was stabilization, better battery, and being able to shoot 4K 120 frames per second. And my A6700 has all of those features. For me, I honestly feel like it's the perfect camera. The only thing that's missing is the fact that it's not a full frame. Apart from that, it's perfect in my opinion. When it comes to lenses, I have a few favorites. When it comes to vlogging, I do like a zoomed out look. I really do like this 11mm 1.8 from Yongno. Probably my favorite out of all, not because it gives the best image quality, but because it's convenient, and because of its size and its weight. It's just very easy to carry around, because sometimes you don't really have a plan, and it's nice to just like have something with you so you can just like quickly grab it and just like shoot if there's something to shoot. I also do like the 50mm 1.8 for that a little bit more closed up cinematic look. You also get that nice blurry background with the 50. It really depends on what kind of mood you're going for, but I like to switch it up and try to challenge myself a little bit and use different lenses for different scenarios, because you create a very different look with the type of lens that you're choosing. The 50mm and the 11mm are two very different lenses, but I've found that they cover most of my needs. I also have the 16mm, which is the one I'm shooting on right now, and I also have a 55 to 210mm, which I don't use that much, but it's kind of nice whenever you really need that closed up look. So if you're into vlogging like me, I would suggest getting a mic, simply because the internal microphone inside the camera usually isn't very good. Now, I'm not going to speak too soon because I haven't actually tested out the microphone too much on my A6700, but I do feel like sound coming out from that camera is a little bit better than the A6400. I'm not going to say too much about it. Now, walking around with this creates attention. For me, that's probably one of the biggest downsides with it. I do feel like it's important, because if you don't have a mic and the sound is shit, the video is probably gonna be shit, because sound is very important. But it depends what kind of video it is. Like, if you're not gonna say anything, it doesn't really matter that much. But if you're gonna walk around and talk to the camera, I would probably get an external microphone, either this type of microphone or maybe one of those small little mosquito microphones that you attach to your clothes. They're a little bit more discreet. Like, sound quality is, you don't really think too much of it when you're making videos, but it really does make a huge difference. This microphone, it's from Røde. It's called Video Mic Go 2. I don't really see the need in getting a new microphone. The only thing that I would like is having some mosquito mics, just for the convenience, and also because of the, like, it doesn't look that professional when you're around people and you just want to create, you know, mundane everyday moments. You don't want people to like, what is that, what were you doing? Because the second you put a mic on your camera, people go like, ooh, that's professional. Are you gonna post this somewhere? All of a sudden it feels very prestige. People all of a sudden don't look normal. And also for your own sake, like it does feel a little heavy walking around with a microphone like this. So I mean, if you can learn to just not give a shit That's probably the best. But yeah, I don't know. I'm actually looking into some options there at the moment. So I'm not sure if I've found my perfect setup quite yet, but this is what I'm working with at the moment. Now that we covered the 3 most obvious things, which is obviously camera, lenses, and microphone, the next thing, when I started out making videos, I didn't really think that I needed it, but oh boy, did I need it. And I'm so happy that I got it. And I'm so happy that I learned how much value this gives, which is an ND filter. An ND filter is basically sunglasses for your camera. If you're not going to shoot outside at all, if you're only going to film inside the house, you'll probably not need it. But the second you take your camera outside and you actually want to keep that low aperture, you should definitely get yourself an ND filter, because it makes a huge difference. It makes a world of a difference. I mean, just shooting in broad daylight is a challenge in itself, because hard light is very hard to work with. But if you don't have an ND filter, it's gonna be hard. You're gonna make it very, very hard for yourself. If you even invest in lenses, it shouldn't really be a question. Like, if you have bought yourself a lens with a wide open aperture, like 1.8, 1.4, you should get yourself an ND filter. The next one I didn't really think too much about before I started making a lot of videos is a tripod. Now I have some options. I'm actually gonna find, let's see. I have several tripods. This one is the one I've been using for the most part. I just got this teeny tiny little plastic thing, probably not the best quality at all, but honestly I've been trying it out and it is kind of nice because it is so small, so convenient. You can put it on tables and stuff like this. It really just does the job for you if you're only gonna bring your camera out for like easy vlogging. Look at the size difference. Like I said, the smaller your gear, the more convenient and the more likely it is that you're actually going to use it, because if it gets too big and too heavy, it's just tiring. I actually kind of like this, and it was like super cheap. It was like probably, I don't know, a couple dollars. Very, very cheap. So if it breaks, I'll cry. I also have a longer tripod, which is the one I'm using right now, which is very, very helpful when you're making videos by yourself, especially because sometimes you just don't have anyone to film you. And if you're going to film yourself, you're going to have to put that camera somewhere. And sometimes you don't have any surfaces or places to put the camera. So a tripod is just, it's gonna be your best friend, honestly. You know, these are mini tripods, so they're nice for like handheld footage. But the second you're gonna put your camera away and you're, gonna move a little bit further away from the camera, you probably want something with a little bit more height. So getting a normal size tripod is definitely recommended. Get yourself a tripod. It just makes life so much easier. The one I'm using is from Ulanzi. I'll list all the equipment that I use below in the description, so there's also some links there so you can check it out on Amazon and stuff. But yeah, the big tripod that I'm using right now on my camera is from Ulanzi. Also, this one is from Ulanzi. This is a TT38. And they both have the same quick release system, so you don't really have to change the play, which is kind of nice. I think it's called F38, the quick release system. That's part of why I wanted to keep the same brand, because I hate walking around with a screw and starting to like remove the plate and stuff if I'm changing between tripod systems. That's just annoying. So that's really nice if I'm like actually gonna go out and I need to change from one tripod to another. I can just do that very, very quickly. This is more like, let's quickly go out and shoot something. Well, this is more like, okay, we're gonna produce something here. The next thing that I wanted to mention is an SD card. Obviously, you need an SD card to make anything. Duh. But one thing that I didn't consider was how important it is to get the right type of SD card. In my case, I bought the A6700 because it was able to shoot slow-mo in 4K resolution, which I love. It is so much fun. But I quickly came to learn that my previous memory card wasn't suitable for that setting. You actually need a V60 or a V90 card, or one of those express cards, if I'm not mistaken, for it to work. I wasn't aware of that. I wasn't aware that you need to kind of just switch out everything. Like the second you switch out your camera, everything else follows, kind of. It's just something to mention. Not that like memory cards is not a huge topic for me. It's never been that. It's just something that I store my footage on, and as long as it works, I'm happy. But I didn't know that the second you're gonna up your settings game, you need to up your memory card game as well. The next thing on my list here is my monitor app, which I'm actually using right now. The monitor app is an app that you can download on your phone. It allows you to see yourself. Like I said, I'm solo dolo. I don't have anyone to help me, film me. It just makes things a lot easier. Me being able to see myself makes a world of a difference. I do have the monitor, like the teeny tiny monitor on the camera as well, but it gets a little bit small when I'm sitting multiple meters away from the camera. I can't really see that much. So it's just really nice to have an app that works. I used to use the Creator app. The Monitor Plus app is a lot faster, and it also has some more features, I think. I don't really use a lot of features. I just connect it and press record. That's good. It's a lot faster, and I just love when things just work. So yeah, that's my little list of things that I, as a YouTuber slash content creator, I guess we can say that, right? There's no license attached to those names. This is the equipment that I use as a small YouTuber slash content creator. Still working on it. Still working on improving my videos, and the type of equipment that I use will most likely change as well on the way. And I'm very excited for where this journey continues. Thank you very much for watching.